Remember when this was the best delivery method for music? Remember when this was the best delivery method for supplements? Every industry evolves and improves with new breakthroughs in science and technology. Here at Numi, we've used a proprietary technology to solve an issue that's been around since nutritional supplementation began: the problem of absorption. So many of today's supplements are less effective due to their inability to be absorbed naturally by the body. Using our own proprietary hydrostat nano delivery breakthrough, we reduce the particle size of critical nutrients smaller than ever before, allowing them to absorb in your mouth while swishing for 30 seconds or more. Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. It's responsible for boosting your energy, detoxifying cells, reducing inflammation, and boosting the immune system. If glutathione is so amazing, why have you never heard of it? Because glutathione is extremely fragile, and if taken orally, it will be destroyed via the digestive process, rendering it virtually useless to the body. Until now, NutraSwish applies nanotechnology to achieve maximum absorption. Now, glutathione and other nutrients can be absorbed simply and quickly by swishing in the mouth instead of being destroyed in the stomach. Using this same nanotechnology, we've created the ultimate skincare product, Numi Skin. We've been able to achieve unparalleled absorption for key ingredients, including collagen, hyaluronic acid, and more. Some of the top skin experts in the world work together to create the ultimate blend of skin-enhancing nanonutrients, creating the most amazing before and after results. With our nano solution, you no longer have to wait months to experience the effects of skincare and supplementation. Our customers are noticing a difference within a matter of days. Don't wait to look, feel, and live your best life. A new you starts with Numi.
Hi, welcome back to another Dr. Shante video. This video is basically sharing what I do for general health maintenance. Well, in addition to just eating healthy, I take supplements. I take them habitually. The first supplement on the list is a multivitamin. A good multivitamin from A to zinc. That is what I take. I take it in the form of a hair, skin, and nail vitamin, but a multivitamin is suffice. The next thing is I take omega-3. I don't do the fish oil cap. I do this in a liquid because this is one of the 3 macronutrients that we need, right? We need carbohydrates, proteins, fatty acids. Okay, that's how I do that. In addition to taking a probiotic, I take prebiotics. I may take the prebiotics more frequently than the probiotics, and I can go over later the why to that. And I also take digestive enzymes. Those are the main things I take. Additional supplements that I take a superfood powder, and I have this much of water inside of the bottle before I put like 1 or 2 teaspoons of that powder in there. I'll make a separate video talking about it because it has so much benefit, but this is also something that I use on a daily basis. The definition of a holistic view is that all aspects of people's needs, psychological, physical, and social, should be taken into account and seen as a whole. Holistic relationships is leading the charge and sparking real conversations that transcend the ordinary, aiming not only to explore life's intricate facets, but also to inspire positive change and cultivate better approaches to every topic we touch. In the realm of love and relationships, marriage and divorce, parenting struggles and single parenting triumphs, toxic relationships, and the liberating journey out of codependency. Our goal is crystal clear. We are architects of change, crafting blueprints for better, more holistic relationships that stand the test of time. This isn't just a show or a podcast. It is a movement. Each episode is an invitation to recalibrate your perspective, to rethink conventional norms, and to embark on a journey towards a more fulfilling life. From the nuanced dance of co-parenting to the empowering pursuit of self-confidence, we are here to guide you towards positive transformation, empowerment of self and others, setting goals, building legacies, and collecting fortune with purpose. Holistic relationships is more than a show. It's a philosophy. We navigate the complex terrain of aging gracefully and achieving optimal health and weight loss, shedding light on compatibility in relationships and imparting wisdom on the art of dating and courtship. Join us as we forge a community committed to positive change, where every conversation is a catalyst for growth, every revelation is a step towards understanding, and every piece of advice is a key to unlocking a more holistic and fulfilling life. Welcome to Holistic Relationships, where the pursuit of better, more meaningful connections begins, and positive change is not just encouraged, but celebrated. This holistic relationship topic is about social media. Talking to the young people, Gen Z, when talking about social media, it's not real. It's a delusion. It's not real. People don't live like you're seeing the highlights of people's lives. You're not seeing real life, not all of it. And I'm hopeful that you're not comparing your life to what you see people post, because that is just pretentious. It's not showing us everything, the ups and downs of their life, because there's a lot of people who have a mentality that it's nobody's business, right? So it's nobody's business when you're doing bad or when you're effing up in life, but it's nobody's business then. But it is their business when you want to boast or brag about something you're doing. And it's become a thing that people depend. And I'm not knocking it, because I do it as well. If I'm going places and I want to post things, and it's become part of a social norm to do that anyway. So I'm not saying that to say that people should stop. I'm just saying not to put so much emphasis in comparison to what you're seeing, because that's just a moment in time that a person is capturing and putting on their social media page. One moment in time. It's not capturing every moment in time. Again, social media is kind of an illusion. It's not real. Young people, I want to talk to you about this. Please Do not compare your lives to someone's social media feed. Remember, they're only posting highlights of their lives, not everything that goes along with their life. I mean, why would you? Why would you share to the entire world the worst moments of your life? That doesn't make any sense at all. But just because someone isn't sharing the worst moments of their lives, or some of the worst moments of their lives, doesn't mean it's not happening. Because you want to know what's real? You want to know what's really happening out here? This is not the celebrity feed now. Let's keep this focus on ordinary people, the average person's life, and what their life experience is. For some people, it is not popping bubbles, and they're just in the club living life, hanging out in limousines and expensive cars and things like those. And of those you may see doing that, they could be fraud. They spending some money that shouldn't even be allocated to do those things or rent those fancy cars on the weekends, and they posted up on it and social media with them in those cars. They could have just spent their rent money just to floss, and now they're going to be set back. Again, that's another topic, in ways that people are being disingenuous about their real financial situations. So you can't believe everything that you see posted on social media. But again, let me tell you what people are really going through. Let me tell you what's real. Rent and mortgage due at the first of every month. Going to the grocery store because SNAP benefits kicked in. Got that utility bills are due. Phone and internet bills are due. Going to work. Did I mention going to work? I think I mentioned going to work, right? Working? Okay. They're not getting any days off. And certainly not getting them off back to back to back. That's not how them schedules go, okay? It's not like you're just working the mornings and you're off on the weekends. Not with these type of different schedules that are out here. And even though there are instances where they can work remotely, that's not all the time. What else is real out here? Car notes, car insurance, bus pass money, Uber money. If that's even a thing, I don't even know that people could put Uber on the budget. And we know people don't have budgets. We know they don't. The average person might not have it. Everyone else pretty much just spends the money as the money comes. That money is burning a hole in their pocket. That money goes away just as fast as it comes in. This is what we see in real life. What else is real? Let's see. The car maintenance stuff you gotta have done to the car. Those things like for maintenance, like oil changes, new tires, and fixing brakes and whatnot. And then there are car accidents, and then you got to get the car fixed. You got to pay a $500 deductible to get the car fixed, and still paying that monthly car note, regardless if you're driving the car or not. And still got to pay the insurance, regardless if you're driving the car. And then if you need the rental car, the car insurance is probably just paying a portion of that. So you still got to come out of pocket a little bit for that rental car so you can get back and forth to work. Remember work? I mentioned work. Yeah, I did. And also getting your kids back and forth where you need to go, getting back home safely. And you got people in these toxic relationships. You have people in unhappy marriages. The infidelity is through the roof and unbearable. And some of the men, they got side pieces, or they got families on the other side of towns. Not saying that women ain't got side pieces either, but I'm just saying that's what's happening. Let's see here. What else? People they're in court for evictions or mortgage foreclosures, in court for child support, child custody cases, people in divorce court, domestic abuse, domestic assault, sexual assault. People are out here having to face diagnosis for the first time ever in their lives. A cancer diagnosis, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, maybe some kind of organ failure, be it heart failure or kidney failure. They're out here struggling with their weight and having obesity issues and ailments connected to that obesity. It's those people, maybe it's them that's getting sick, or it's a significant other or a spouse or a parent or a child or a sibling or a close family member, a dear friend. People are dying. They're losing their lives. People are losing their jobs where they're on unemployment. People are out here needing to have surgery. They're going through rehab and physical therapy. People are going through rehab because they were addicted to a substance. People are flunking out of school, be it college or it's high school. People are out here stuck in traffic where they got to commute to work. That's a 2-hour commute to work both ways. They're working all over the place. They're working first, second, and third shift, what we used to call graveyard shifts. They barely have any days off, barely have any food in the house. They're out in bars drinking their sorrows away. Let's see, they're having children, not able to take care of those children, and just becoming overburdened, overwhelmed with life. They're looking for love. They're looking for love, may not even be finding love. That's what people are going through. They're out here trying to run for political offices. They're trying to run for other public servant type of positions. They're retiring and then finding out something is going on with the Medicare. Their health insurance is jacked up. They're out here trying to be well. They're trying to make it. Out here trying to co-parent with toxic people. Their children may be acting up in school. The bills are piling up. They out here with OnlyFans pages trying to do something strange for some change. That's what's real. They out here with messed up relationships with their parents, no matter the age. So yeah, that's what's real. Yeah. They out here rounding up money and GoFundMe pages to bury loved ones because they didn't have life insurance. No one in the family line had any type of knowledge or financial literacy, nothing. But that's what's going on out here. It's a little bit more. It's real. And then again, I mentioned before, some people do keep it real. They may show you the good, bad, and ugly, but in most cases, not all the time, you're not going to see that part. But I'm just here to remind you that these are the things. People are suing people. They're in court for all kinds of things. Maybe judgments are being passed against them for being delinquent on a bill that they didn't pay. Car repossessions. Maybe they hadn't paid that car note. The stress levels are just through the roof because they had now, because that's their only means of transportation. And then if there's two people in a situation where they're working together and ends are meeting the way that they should, yeah, that's what's real. Not somebody's feed where they're just showing the highlights of their life. That is why all that ish needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Don't compare your life to and what you're really going through, and you're really going through on a daily. And you're looking up at this other page and it seems like, or have the appearance that their life is not, no, they're going through. They're going through what you're going through. They're going through different versions and levels of what we're all going through. That is what's real. So if you're seeing all of that sharing and you're someone sitting back trying to figure out your life and you're feeling bad because you're following someone that got 1 million followers, they got all these people liking and clicking on them, that isn't a real representation of who that person really is. It's really that person's representative. It's really who they want to show you who they are, but not really who they are. People are funny like that. And especially on their social media feeds and what they want to show to the world. And yes, it is their prerogative to do so. It is your prerogative to do so. But my message is for the young people to make sure that you're not solely looking at that and you're not taking that to heart. It should be taken with a grain of salt. Because, you don't even know if that person is somebody worthy to be following. That could be just someone that learned the algorithm. And maybe they have true, genuine charisma. And they're just great entertainers, great people to watch. And you fit what they're doing. You're the audience for them. And this isn't a knock to people who have a lot of followers. In no way a knock to them. I'm not hating on them. What I am saying to the people who are looking at that, people who are seemingly ordinary people who have a lot of hits, and they may have that little blue mark or that blue circle mark. And of course, the way things have changed with social media, you can't even tell if the blue mark is real anymore, especially when it's not earned anymore. People can buy the blue marks now on some platforms. So again, you see how it keeps coming back to is it real? It's not really that person is worthy to follow, because it's always something that comes out of it. I remember when Derek Jackson was getting real big, and I was following him at the time, and I was someone that was listening to him. And then I started to listen to Kevin Samuels. And then I was balancing against what was being said. And I could agree with some things on one end and then agree with some things over on the other. But the crack in his armor, his being Derek Jackson's armor, is when that scandal came out and people were trying to, I don't want to say disown him. I don't know the word I'm thinking to say. But I used to always say, and I still came defending it, saying, listen, it's not about the messenger. It's about the message. So yes, he's imperfect. Yes, considered a hypocrite. However you want to label it. But just think about the message and not put the messenger on the pedestal. Because I'm sure he didn't want people to put him so high up that when he made a mistake, that there was no room for error for him as a human being. But I say all of that to say, when I said about the crack in the armor, you don't know the crack in the armor of the people with the blue mark on their face who got all these followers. You don't know what that is for them, or who they are, or what they're really like. They could be horrible people. We see it all the time. And you may have seen it depicted in movies where a person meets their favorite celebrity or their idol, and that person has a bad attitude and they turn off their fan forever because they idolize them. And that's bad. And that's what I want to say to those of you that are sitting back and watching and thinking that, oh my God, because mental health with this is, so what I want to say about that is that part of that has to do with what they're watching and observing on social media. They're seeing all of the highlights of most people's lives. And there are some people who keep it real. They keep it 100 on social media, where they show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. But that's very few and far in between. You don't find too many people that has the courage to be their true, authentic selves online. There's always the representative to that person that you see online. So if you're someone that's into social media, wherever you are, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform is your kryptonite, okay? Or maybe a combination of all of them. But just know that you're seeing the highlights. You're seeing the things that they practice. You're seeing the things that is not real. And I'm not trying to say that some things that are posted aren't real. I'm not saying that. Just saying, don't allow your mental health to be affected by it. Social media, it came around when I was just going to college. So there's a part of my life where I remember we didn't have this. And then now there's this part of my life where I'm able to make the comparisons. And I think there's so many positives to it. But it's my belief, and this is my opinion on it, where what suffered or what got sacrificed is true human connection. Being able to socialize with people, because I don't know that people know how to socialize with people with social media now. And social media was designed, well, I don't know if it was designed for that. I think the idea that it would be that you was designed to connect them to many, many people all over the globe, all walks of life, access to people all over. And we didn't have that in my day growing up, and in a lot of people's days growing up, where you didn't have that. And so in a lot of ways, I feel social media has made us less social. See, back in the day, we were forced to talk to people and have conversations. And you didn't just see somebody and just clicked on it, but you had to go get to know them. There had to be an organic connection, because if you weren't feeling them or they weren't feeling them, well, nothing happening. It was just somebody you were just looking at from afar. Oh, with social media, you get to follow them, follow their page, be all up in their photos and all up in their albums and their life and all up in their business, and they don't even know who you are. They don't even know you exist. And then for those that, where you're in all in the DMs and all the texting, and it's like people don't even know how to talk to you anymore. They don't even know how to have a conversation with you. And then maybe they're just not interesting enough. Maybe that's it. They just ain't got the swag. Maybe that's what it is. And that's fine. To each their own, and that's okay. But I do believe that social media has done that, where it's taken that away. And another thing that is done because of that access to so many people, I think people have this little swipe left mentality where they're not valuing their connection with people. Because back in the day, you had to go through things with people. You got into arguments and you had to make up and you got in and hash it out with people, really work it out with people. But now it's like, they do something that you don't like, and they're like, okay, unfollow, unfriend, swipe left to the next person. And that's not how you do it. That's not how you end up developing real connections with people. And this is why I'm saying it's not real. It made me think of this Martin episode from a TV show from the 90s. There was this episode where Gina's sorority sister came to visit, and Pam was kind of like, I don't know, something up with her. And maybe Gina thought that Pam was jealous or something. But when Martin figured that something ain't right here, him and Pam teamed up to expose her to Gina, So in ways that we're looking at certain aspect of social media, it reminds me of that episode when Martin was interviewing her, Monique, that was her name. That was the TV show character. He was interviewing her and caught her up in something, and Pam got up like, she ain't real, y'all. She ain't real. That's what I am right now. I am Pam in that instance when it comes to what you see and what is being seen and being posted on social media most of the time. It's not entirely real. And of what you're seeing that is real, it is just the better highlights of it, because very few people really post when it gets bad. Very few people. I have some that do it, but very few. Everyone else has to have this larger than life persona or lifestyle, and it's not the truth. It's just not. We could just go to the Department of Labor and look at some statistics to see what the average salaries are, in the United States, and what's inside of some of these states. Let's just get inside of a state. Pick a state, any state, and see what the average income is and what are the occupations that have certain incomes. And that will really help you confirm that this ish ain't real. So, to my young people, take the time and get off of social media. Put the phone down. Don't let it run your life. Don't get to the point where that is a problem. I have a habit now where I don't get on social media until the evening. Most of my day has gone by, and that is for me to make sure that I have done the things that I need to do, that I have checked all of the boxes of my to-do list of the day, prepare myself for the next day or the next week if necessary. Let me look at the schedule. Let me look at this planner. Let's see what does my son need, maybe for his school. I don't have time to be sitting here looking at people's posts, because most of the things people are posting is just a waste of time. And I mean, you can waste 40 minutes with a snap, because the algorithms know what you like. It didn't figure this all out. So they know how to draw you in and have you looking at stuff and keep looking at things, and you'll look up in 40 minutes that went by. And I remember being backed up back in the day. Okay, back in the day is just a couple of years ago, but now I've been very consistent in my behavior with social media, because now I just don't jump on until a certain time. I got a friend that'll call me saying, "Hey, go! I just DM'd you something. Go look at it. Go. It's real funny." And I would have to be like, no. I am not going to go see that. I'm not going to go look at that, because it's not in line with what I need to get done right now. I got things I got to do, and I can't get engaged with this foolery. And I'm sure it is funny. That's the thing. I am positive. I'm sure it is funny, but it's a distraction. It is a distraction to what it is that I need to get done. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be there. It will be there. So I'm like, you're not going to be missing anything. It will be there for you to see it later. So why not take care of your business? Do what you need to do. Set some goals. Do a little self care, a little pampering. Go on and have a nice meal with, and sit down across from somebody, another human being, and turn your damn phone off and have a conversation with them the old fashioned way instead of sitting there texting, and then the thing that gets me sometimes with the texting is that, not spelling all of the words. I'm being a hypocrite right now, right? Where I'll see them where they'll send ND and they mean and, or I'll see a post where it says ND instead of and I'm like, really? You couldn't just put the A in there for the and? Really? Was it really that much work to do? So yeah, I'm being a little hypocrite right now. But really, I'm not the grammar police. But yes, get off of the phones, schedule that time for yourself and so that you can be more productive, so that you can lift your spirits. And then that way, when you're feeling accomplished and you have purpose, one of my favorite motivational speeches, Les Brown, when he said in one of his speeches, he said that you can gain more years in your life with a purpose. When you get up with a purpose. Do you all have dreams? Do you have a purpose? Is there something that you want to do? What is it that you dream about doing? And that's where you start. And your mental health will shift. Now, of course, there's a correlation between mental health and diet too, but that's another conversation, another holistic relationship topic, about mental health and diet. But if you got more productive and you start setting some goals, following your dreams and thinking about what those things are, when you start moving in that way, you will feel better about yourself. You'll feel better about your life. And you can use this word right here, bored. When my son comes and say to me, I'm bored, I'm like, you know what? It's okay for you to know what the definition of bored is, but it doesn't need to be in your vocabulary. I tell you, young people, there's always something to do. There's no such thing as bored or being bored. That's crazy to me. It's stupid. It's crazy. It's always something to do. I'll never forget when I was a part of the Upward Bound program at Chicago State University. This is when I was in high school. I got into that program this summer before high school, but I went through that program and stayed committed to that program. I mean, gave up my Saturdays to be going to classes there, okay? Got on the bus, went all the way south from where I lived, and participated, committed to this college prep program. But the summers were really cool because it was always a place that they took us to, which is always a college tour attached to it. So we go to those exciting places without a college tour or college attached to it. And at first I used to be like, well, man, I would have let us go into the place. But you know what? I could appreciate it now by going to the college as well. The first summer I participated in it, they took us to Puerto Rico. So we went to the Universidad de Puerto Rico, But, it gave us the moment to experience life somewhere else. And then we had to learn some Spanish phrases and things. But I'm only mentioning all of that to say that one Saturday, I may have been late or something, or I missed my friends. Maybe everyone's at lunch or something. And I don't know where my friends were. But I remember sitting on the second floor of the Douglas Library and near the stairwell. And I was just sitting there by myself. No one was there. So yeah, I was over there in some seats by the stairs. Because I don't think there was a way to go up. Was there a third floor? I really can't remember. Wow. Okay. not the point. But anyway, I was sitting there, sitting in an area near the staircase, and the program director, Carol Carson Warner, Dr. Warner, Carol, she walked by me, and she may not even know that her interaction with me that day and what she said to me, that was a moment of something we're turned on there. She may have never known that it was that conversation that put me on a path. I started thinking and being intentional about what I wanted to do because I wasn't doing anything but just sitting there being quiet. And she walked by me and said, "Hi, Shantae." And I said, "Hi, Carol." And she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Nothing. I'm not doing anything." And so she's getting ready to walk away into the stairwell or to the elevator, but she's getting ready to leave. But she paused. She turned back to me and she looked and she said, "You know, an idle mind is a devil's workshop." She said, "Have a good rest of your day." She turned and she left. And I sat there pondering on the last thing this woman said to me that day. An idle mind is a devil's workshop. Wow, how profound that was to me as a teenager. I'm a teenager. I was sitting there not even doing anything, just in my own thoughts. And the seed that was planted put me on the track. And I remember in that moment, I said, "Wow." And I might have taken it literal too. And I was thinking like, wow, because a lot of us come from religious backgrounds and things. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want the devil in my mind or manipulating me in that way. So I may have taken it a little literal, but I did come to learn to understand later in life. How do I want to put this? I'll put it the way that I've come to learn it. And this is another great quote from Les Brown when he says, "When you don't program you, life will program you." And that is, and now that I'm older, I can understand it a little bit better. That if you are intentional about what you're thinking and what you're doing, something can come along and you find yourselves being pulled along, dragged along with whatever nonsense that just happens to pass by. But if you are someone with a plan, a vision, someone who is intentional about your thoughts and what you're going to do, people are going to come and interject and distract you. Distraction is going to always be around. There will always be a distraction. Always an opportunity for a distraction to knock you off your square. That's every day. Till this day, every day, I am faced with a distraction. But I have learned, I have the mental stability now to recognize when those are distractions. But those words, an idle mind is a devil's workshop, it made me start thinking about what I wanted to do. It may have started the whole thing of overthinking too. But what I didn't want was to be easily influenced. I wanted to start thinking, and I can also remember my mother when she used to scold at me. And I would do things and I'm not going to say what she said, but I'll say the ending part. She said, "Shantae, I need you to think. I want you to use your brain. Think. Think before you do things." She used to always drive that point home to me because I do something and come back and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't think about that." She's like, "Well, I need you to think. Think next time. Think before you act. Think before you say something. Think before you do something. Think." So when you have people, and these are just great people that I've mentioned, it made me start to think. And when you're intentional and you start to think using that brain power we are blessed with, yes, we may have the primitive brain, but we got some other hemispheres and sections of the brain. We got some other stuff that can help us with that. So when you start thinking, And when you start being intentional about your thoughts, you can find something to do. So again, back to my point about there's no such thing as being bored. You shouldn't have it in your vocabulary. You shouldn't have it in your thought process. You shouldn't be over there twiddling your fingers being bored. You're not challenging yourself. Case in point, when you're feeling bored, you get on social media, don't you? You're doing something, right? I'm saying choose something else to do. Think of something else to do. Something that's going to be more enriching to your soul, to your life, to get you feeling better about yourself. And that way, when you see all these other, on your news feeds, all these other accounts that are looking as if living large and everything, you'll have more perspective. And reading books, that's something that you can do. Exercising your mind with reading. So take what you see on these news feeds and pages, take it with a grain of salt for the most part. Again, there are some people that are genuinely and authentic about who they are and what they put on their pages. And then some, it's just all highlights, the best parts of their lives, and not every part of their life. So take it with a grain of salt and don't internalize it. Start living your life with purpose. Take a break from it so that you don't have to feel bad all the time, and start training your mind of getting out of that cycle of feeling down because you're feeling bored, and then getting yourself drawn into social media, looking at people that looks like they're doing so much and life is just, I will allegedly do it better than you, but you don't really know that. But you see it, and then you start to feel a certain way. And now, and more is happening to reinforce what you're feeling. So just be mindful of that and be careful of that. Remember, social media is not real, and it can make you less social, even though you have access to millions, billions of people at your fingertips, more than we've ever had in prior generations. But at least before, I don't know, it was all right, with the communication. So take a break from it sometimes. Uplift yourself, set some goals, think about what you dream about, what you want to do, and then go from there and make something that is real for yourself. Well, that's it for today's holistic relationship topic. Thank you so much for joining. And please, of course, as always, I welcome feedback. I welcome commentaries, opinions, anything that you have for the listeners out there, the viewers and listeners out there that want to add to this conversation, because this is about community. This is about sharing our experiences, sharing with each other, leaning on each other for these things. This platform is here to be that type of a resource for people, to be a ministry to us all. It is such a pleasure to be able to do it. I'm thankful and appreciative of the people who support it, that's watching it, that's contributing to the conversation, just sending in feedback, that's engaging with it. I'm so appreciative of it. Thank you so much. And I will see you at the next Holistic Relationships. Until next time.